Right now, we are joined by Lindsay Susi, Clinical Director of Sweetser's New England Eating Disorders Program, to discuss some of the resources that are available for Mainers who struggle with eating disorders. So the holiday season tends to really focus around food events. What kind of issues does this cause for estimated 30 million Americans with eating disorders?
Yes, so food-focused events, of course, are part of our holidays, and that can increase stress for these folks, absolutely. So, things like, they're working on their own meal plan and strategies around keeping their eating regular, and then if the eating happens outside of that regular schedule, that can be really challenging. And then the stress of not wanting to bring attention to their own challenges can also be hard too.
Yeah, I can imagine, sitting around a table, and you have a lot of watchful eyes, you have a lot of family. So what can family and friends and people who know someone's struggling, what can they do to be supportive?
So the first thing I always recommend is ask the individual, how can I be helpful to you? What would be useful to you? They may or may not give you any answers to that, but it's a starting point. Outside of that, trying to stay away from things like focusing on talking about weight or calories, and really focusing on being together, trying to put less emphasis on what's going on with the eating, put more emphasis on being together, traditions, things that you're doing together.
And so, that's a great way for people to support people who are struggling, but if you are struggling yourself, what are some tips to manage the stress inside?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we always talk with our patients about planning ahead. So have some sort of game plan around your schedule with your eating. Have a plan around who's going to be supporting you. Ask them for help. Reach out to those supports. Utilize them as best you can. And then make sure you're also taking time for yourself for your own self-care. Take breaks when you need to. But planning is always a really useful strategy.
And if if they're struggling and they need to reach out for help, or if they need some support, what are some of the ways that they can do that?
So we are located right in Saco. We have our confidential line that I think you folks have for us as well. So 294-4522 for anyone who is interested. And we're happy to talk with anybody about any of the struggles that they're having, and talking about any additional support that we can provide them if they think it's needed.
Just to follow up quickly, if someone is concerned about a loved one, are these resources still available to them to reach out to you to say, how can I better support this person?
Absolutely, absolutely. They can always give us a call. We're happy to answer whatever questions that we can, and help guide them down the path of ways that they can be further supportive of their loved ones.
All right, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. What an important topic. Lindsay Susi, the Clinical Director of Sweetser's New England Eating Disorders Program. We thank you again. Appreciate it.